Morning, welcome to another video on my channel. So it is Saturday morning in a bit of a dismal Kent. Wow, there's a lot of people out today. Now normally these roads, right, are really perfect for me for doing a bit of videoing on, because normally they are very, very quiet. And not forgetting, as you can see behind me, the roads and the conditions are not nice. Normally that would be an even better reason why to take these roads on, because in this kind of weather, because they're quiet and no one's using them, because no one's going out in their car and get the car dirty. But you're talking about people around here that live on farms, oast houses, hillbillies, etc. And a lot of them don't care. Because as you can see there, dirty truck, farmer type person. Yeah. Anyway. So I had to get out. I'm going to go to one of my favourite places, a little place in Lenham, little restaurant, and I'm going to go and get myself an omelette. And I visit this place quite a few times. And it's getting a bit regular for me because the food's nice, it's easy to park the bike, I can keep an eye on it out the window, I can lock it up, and I can not stress too much. Another car. Look at the state of that. Oh, that's what I mean, see, these roads. I would not, I don't care how much money I've got, there's no way you'd catch me living out here. No way. It's too dirty. Roads are too horrible, treacherous. Look, another one, look at the state of that. So I'll pull over here for a minute. Why I talk to you. Right, as I said, did I say? Welcome to my channel, welcome to another little video I'm doing this morning. Here we come, look, see, it's really busy today. It's Saturday, isn't it? Everyone's going out to the shops, they don't care, do they? As I said, the people around here don't care about their motors, they're just treated like, well, bits of old tin, aren't they? Not looked after. You couldn't look after anything nice around this area. Even in the summer it's still crappy. So anyway, I just thought I'd get out today, and I brought the Crux out. Now I'm going to show you some videos on this. Now I haven't ridden this bike for a long time because I've basically been trying to sell it. There's a few reasons behind that, but I haven't got time to go into that. Now, I literally, within literally 5 minutes of being on this bike this morning, this is a Specialised Crux DSW. It's just an aluminium frame, it's one of the lightest aluminium frames on the market today. And that, don't quote me on that, that is by Specialised themselves. Now, obviously, I can only go on the data that is out there on the internet and on the information of the models when you look at them. Now, I have no reason not to believe this bike is not light, and one of the lightest, if not the lightest, because it is an absolutely brilliant bike to ride. Now, it's the 12-speed SRAM XPLR, and it is awesome. But it is aluminium, and you do feel a little bit more of the road over composite, like say my Cervelo Espero, which is all composite and carbon fibre carbon wheels as well, which are the SRAM, SRAM Zip XPLR 303s S, not SW. Slightly heavier by a few grams, nothing in it. Same wheels, that are a bit more expensive and very slightly lighter. You won't you won't notice difference. You notice it in your pocket, but you won't notice difference in performance or really weight, because we're all amateur. Look at these roads. Look, another one. Whee! Nice dirty squeaky old Discovery. Anyway, so I am so impressed with this bike. Do you know what? Within 5 minutes being on this bike, I was like, wow, this is really fast. This is a really light bike, and I've really enjoyed it. And I'm obviously still enjoying it now. And so I'm enjoying this ride this morning on this bike, because it just literally, as you step out, as you get up out the pedals, and you just want to literally, you know, put some power into it. There's a nice white one again, but that won't be white, pure white for very long on these roads. Anyway, where was I? So yeah, oh god, I've forgotten where I was now. See, this is what happens, see, when you get have a moment of lapse of concentration. So yeah, anyway, I mean, it's a great bike, and you know, I've thoroughly enjoyed riding this bike. As I said, you know, it is a little bit heavier, probably. I'm gonna have to weigh it, because I haven't done it for ages now. I did do it when I first had the two bikes together, when I first bought this one. I just can't for the life of me remember the weights now. I'm gonna measure them when I get home, because it's gonna bug me all day now. There's not a lot in it, but it's aluminium. Do feel a little bit more on the road surface than you do the composite or carbon fibre bikes. It is what it is in the day. It's a £2.5 grand bike, you know, and it's worth now 1,500, 1,800 quid to sell, which I've been trying to sell it on eBay and just can't get rid of it. Don't know why. It's got loads of upgrades. It's a lovely bike. It's in mint condition. Only reason I bought it out today because the road's so bad, and I thought, do you know what? I'm going to be going. Obviously, I'm going to start using it again for work soon, and I'm just going to take it off, because it's an ideal bike for commuting to work. And I think, to be honest, I'm going to try and, you know, ride a bit more back to work now. My health is getting better, and I'll probably take it back off eBay, because it's perfect for that everyday use, going to work and doing training rides and really crappy old weather like this. Save this fellow getting mucked up and etc. So yeah, let's get on to this restaurant, and let's get some food, because I've got to be back fairly early, and can't be too late today. And I'm going to do another review a little bit later, and I'll throw some pictures on the channels, etc. of the Crux, because it deserves to be reviewed, have a good review, because it's a great bike. Anyway, until then, I'll try and get some videos of these rubbish roads today. See you soon. Good afternoon and welcome to another video on my channel. So here we are back now at home. So I'll do just a quick review on today's outing. obviously the videos I've done, I'll upload and some pictures and etc. So yeah, to Saturday's fix today was to get out on the Specialized Crux DSW. Now originally when I decided that I was going to literally get my kit on and go, I was probably ready I was ready at that time to just jump on the Sparrow and get out and get going. But then I quickly thought about it and I thought, you know what, I'm going to get the Specialized Crux out, which is the bike I bought early last year. And the reason why I bought that bike was purely for commuting, doing some gravel races, throwing it about the place basically without having to worry about stones, rocks, chucking it about, getting scratched, etc, 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 and going to work on. So then obviously things happened with me last year with health wise and that, so I decided to park it up and clean it up, which to be fair, it didn't need a lot of cleaning because I've looked after it since I've had it. And although I mentioned to you a little while ago about like literally having it as a bike, throwing it about and doing everything on it that I want to do and not having to worry about it, I am not really one of them people. Although, you know, it was bought for them intentions, it didn't really happen because the person I am, I like to keep my stuff, you know, clean and tidy and maintained to a high standard. So it was always looked after every ride. And bearing in mind, before I stopped using it, it only had little use anyway, and light use. And it had, so it had been, you know, it hadn't really been sort of like thrown about as it was intended to you know, bought for that reason. It didn't get thrown about and scratched, etc. As I said, you know, with the reasons of health reasons and then not being at work and stuff, it kind of got parked up, and I kind of thought, you know what's the point of keeping it? I might as well get rid of that, and then at some point I'll get another bike, and maybe I'll get a road bike this time like I have done in the past, and keep me a Sparrow for my gravel bike and everyday bike. Because there was no point having two bikes sitting about, you know, if I'm not going to use any of them for the time being. So yeah, it's went on eBay, and that's where it sat for a long time and just didn't get sold, which I do not know why to this day, because I upgraded some parts on it as well, and not cheap parts, expensive parts, because that's the sort of thing that I normally do. It had a new set of tyres on it. As I said, it had very little use on it. It was immaculately clean, you know, and I put some good photos up to, you know, to do it some justice and show it off, and it just didn't sell. And it's not to do with pricing, because I'd already priced it really low on other bikes that were on eBay, and there wasn't that many at the time that were the DSW aluminium new DSW model. With the XPLR 12 speed on SRAM, so didn't really sell. And so as I said, decided to get it out the old closet today, as I say, and brush it off and put some miles back on it, which I've done. I've just washed it down, just cleaned it, maintained it, oiled it, re-greased it, everything, and I've even put some decent pedals back on it, which is some pedals I had in spare. I've took the spare pedals that I had put on it to sell, which were fairly decent. They were, you know, fairly decent SPD pedals. So I put them on, you know, because a lot of bikes don't come with pedals these days. So it's another kind of incentive for someone to buy it, because it's got a set of pedals on it. But it didn't sell. So, okay, there we go. I think it's going to have to go back into the stable. Well, it was already in the stable, but it's going to have to go back into use. So when I get back to work, it's going to have to be used, I think, again, to be quite honest with you. Yeah, so there you go. Today's ride was quite exciting. I enjoyed it. The roads were absolutely filthy. But that bike literally ate up the miles today. And do you know what? Because it's the DSW, so the aluminium frame of the Crux, and as I said, you know, that's the reason why I went over the aluminium frame rather than carbon fibre version, because it was going to be used for the intentions that I obviously, you know, I've obviously just mentioned. I didn't buy the carbon fibre because I didn't want to get that damaged, because it was going to be, you know, used as a bit of a thrown about a bit, and also there was the other thing was that in fact it was going to be locked up at work, and as we know, bike theft is massive these days. It's always in a secure compound, but you just never know, do you? You know, you just never ever know. So, you know, when you're leaving it for a few hours a day, you know, even if it's in a locked compound, you know, you still worry, you still want in the back of your mind whether, you know, it's going to be there when you come home, when it's time to go home. I'm quite lucky that where I work, it's very secure, but again, things have gone missing in the past, and that's just the way, you know, it's just the way things, that's the way things are, unfortunately. So that's why I went for the aluminium, the cheap version. But it's been a great bike. I mean, you know, you get out the pedals to climb, to just literally, you know, go eyeballs out, and you just want to, you know, just cane it through the roads, and it just eats up the miles. It's so quick. It's so responsive. For an aluminium bike, it's very quick, very responsive, and very comfortable. And it's supposed to be claimed by Specialized to be one of the lightest aluminium bikes out there on the market today. Now, the bike has been out for a while now, the DSW version, so that may have changed since then. I haven't really researched that to see whether the DSW is still the lightest bike that's been made, but Specialized claim that, so we have, unfortunately, until someone tells me otherwise or I do some research and find out, they'll have no reason to believe that it's not. The claimed weight at the moment for the Specialized Crux DSW comp, which is the D Smart Weld, is marketed at the world's lightest alloy gravel bike. There we go. So, and the weight is 9.37 kg. That's what the claimed weight is. Now, we all know once you start putting bottle cages and bottles and Garmin and, you know, a couple of saddlebags or whatever, not a couple of saddle, but a saddlebag and some water and, you know, etc., 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 the weight will go up. So 9.37 kg, and whereas that versus my Cervelo Espero, the claimed weight for that is 8.26 kg. Now, again, with bottles, etc., depending on what you put on the bike, the weights will go up. But for, when you look at the weights, 8.26 for a carbon fibre Cervelo Espero, and then you look at a Specialized Crux aluminium, which is 9.37, if them weights are fairly accurate, there's not a lot in it. Now, I did find today that there is, I did feel a little bit more of the road underneath me on the aluminium version, whereas the Cervelo Espero carbon fibre gravel bike that I've got does soak up a bit more of that, you know, road buzz. And obviously I've got carbon fibre wheels on there, so I've got Zip XPLR 303s on my gravel bike on the Cervelo Espero, whereas the Specialized Crux has got the aluminium version of the DT Swiss wheels that are on it when it comes, which it comes with from factory. So obviously there's a little bit of difference there in performance and weight and comfortable wise, because you're going to feel it again, aluminium wheel set compared to carbon wheel set. So, but without getting too involved in this conversation of weights and bikes, etc., you know, and etc., and I do think that the DSW Specialized Crux is a brilliant bike, and I have done some reviews on it in the past, and some people have come back to me and said, yeah, they're going to get one and they've enjoyed them, etc. So for me, it was a really good choice, really good purchase. And as I said, I'll probably keep it now because I'm getting back to full fitness, and I'm probably going to be using it for work this year as well, because I like cycling to work, and it saves money, doesn't it? You know, and we, as a cyclist, you know, it's it's gives you a bit of enjoyment, something to look forward to when you're finishing work, if you want to go off a longer ride, or you know, even go into work. So yes, that is that. The day's been a great day. We've had the calf down at Lenham, got something to eat. It was very busy in there, and there was a lot of farmers and builders, and you know, so to speak, in there. But it's nice in there, it's clean, it's warm, and I can leave the bike outside the window and lock it up and see it, and it's not so stressful about that. So yeah, nice to get out. Didn't really do a lot of miles. 27 miles I've done today in total. It's not a lot, is it? But I've had a nice little ride out. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Enjoying yourself. And haven't gone eyeballs out. I've been chilled. It's been quite a chilled out ride, although it's been dirty and horrible and wet, and my clothing is absolutely filthy. The bike was filthy. Had to clean all that down because I can't leave my bikes, like, I can't leave my stuff dirty. I have to clean it straight away. So I've done all that. That's done. I can sit back this afternoon, watch something on YouTube or the TV, and have a nice cup of tea and something to eat a little bit later. Then I don't have to go on Swift later and enter into a race, or you know, whatever, I'll do a ride on there. So I've got my fix for the day, if you know what I mean. So yeah, anyway, I'll do upload some videos of the crux and of the day, and till next time, I'll probably do. Oh, there's one thing I was going to say actually before I do go, which was I was just about to try and remember what I was going to say, and I've just remembered. So going back to the overshoes that I said to you about, well, bear with me 1 second because they are here, and I will get them. Here we go, the FLRs. There we go. I had to remember them again. So remember me telling you about these. What I'd done was a bit of a hack, bodge, and I glued an inner tube to the back. I did notice today, out on a bit of a longer ride, that this zip was kind of biting in against my ankle, and I had some thick socks on because I had my gravel lakes on, shoes, and I had bib tights on as well. So again, you know, and I've never, as I said, I've never had any problems before other than these things. So I will not be buying the FLRs again, unfortunately, and unless someone does something with this zip on them, that's where they're going to go. Anyway, so FLR overshoes, rubbish. Anyway, I will see you on the next video. Stay safe. See you soon.